I guess we're gonna do little segments here and there, are we not? Um, yeah, more segments on this. Well, not a lot because we got the things to do, and I don't want to keep this about this. We're actually going in and we're basically opening up our cases again for this. You know, I try to let things slide. I really do, people. You know I do. And, you know, him in there bragging about how he's untouchable and all this other stuff about how, you know, we look, buddy, Jamie, you have to understand. And I'm trying to explain things to you. This is the reason why you're getting all these cases stacked on you now. We got to go open this case up again. I was willing to let these things go. I was willing to come here, build, mind my own business. But what I've seen from you three at the end of the day, the hatred that you guys have for me, we have no choice but to come after you guys and start prosecuting you guys left and right. We got enough evidence to do so. So the reason why Jamie's case didn't go through, I mean, we had enough for the process server, and once you get enough evidence, you literally have to have enough evidence for them to issue this. It goes in stages. So they have to review all this stuff, all the information that you put out, and they have to make sure that you have enough to prosecute for court. Oh, I have a file on you, man. By the time I get into court, I'm going to have a literally brick of files on you. It's insane the stuff that we have on you. But anyway, so this is the process server right here. They went to Jamie's apartment. Keep in mind, in order to get one of these, in order to get approved for one of these, you have to have enough evidence to show that the person can be brought in for court. If there's not enough information, if there's not enough evidence, then you won't get one of these at all, period. So you have to be to show that you have enough in order to prosecute. The problem that we ran into when we're doing these forms are interesting. And they go back over them, you'll be assigned an agent, and they'll go over these forms and they'll say, hey, look, you don't have enough information. Or at one point we had too much information that was on the site, and they wanted us to go in and remove stuff. If you change your phone number, this doesn't go by verification by social security number. It doesn't go by verification of email. It goes by verification of phone number. So if you change your phone number, it is a process to go in and get access back into your account. What they'll ask for is a confirmation on the last four numbers of your cell phone number. And if you don't have the cell phone number, or you don't remember, well, you won't use it. If you got a new number, you're going to have to do the process not over again, but you have to go and you have to delete the original login. And once you delete the original login, they send you an email to the email you have on register, and you have to go in and you have to do that process all over again to get access in. Now it takes about 24 hours for the process to delete and for you to get access to get back in, to put in the new number to update so you can get access to your files. And again, as I told you before, we were on a timeline on prosecuting this guy, which means 24 hours would have basically put us over the deadline, and we would have not been able to prosecute. But we were able to get everything done in that little bit of time and get the process server to the building. The problem is by the time the process server got back to us, we ran out of time. So we didn't have enough time to submit the documents to bring them to court. But this time around, being wiser and knowing exactly what to do and how to do it, we can get this done even faster, because I had to go back and forth. We had to go to an agent. What the freak you talking about this, and what does this mean, and what does that mean? It is a bit of a process when you first fill out one of these things. Once you learn it, it's pretty much easy. It's very easy to do. So I don't have to go through Hotmail because we found the account over here, which is good. And I had to go, and I'm not going to show you how that's done because I can't show you sensitive files. I had to go in and delete the login because the login is actually under an old phone number, and I got a new phone number, and I'm going to have to go in and basically, I already deleted the account. It takes 24 hours. Once the 24 hours passes, they send me another email saying you have access back to the account. Submit the new number. I submit the new number. I should put a backup email in there too. And then once that's done, I can go back into my files because I already have an account with them and start to begin the process of opening up the account all over again. So yeah, if your numbers are changed, if there's any information, you can't call them. You have to email them. You have to go contact them, email them, and they will email you back. Now, sometimes they'll email you within 24 hours. And again, we had a timeline of 7 days to get everything done, because when they sent us the information over, they said, well, process server. And I'm looking at the application, I'm like, process server, like what? They didn't say third party. That would have helped a lot. They said you have to, this is for the process server. And I'm like, what process server? Like, why would you be giving me this if it's for the process server? That went on for at least about 3 days before someone finally came in and said, hey, look, you have to get a third-party process server to go in and submit this to. So then we had to go in, we had to access a certain file to go in to get the information for the process server to send it over to him or her to fill out so they can begin the descent to the property to serve for court. And they send us back the information that goes into our file, that goes back to them, and that allows them to get ready to their drawing the paperwork to get ready for court. That's where the hiccup kicked in there, because we didn't have enough time. This time around, we have plenty of time because I know exactly how to do it. And this will allow me to get this knocked out in no time at all. They give you something like 29 days to get the whole thing done. So yeah, we can get this done. As a matter of fact, I'll be following 2 of these. We'll follow one on the Black Series edition, which we can show that he had posted that to his site because there's still images popping up with his web information attached to it. And on top of that, we got videos and pictures of everything showing that he was actually tampering with those copyrights without our permission. Let's go over to our page here. This is a cease and desist order. We already found that thing already. Go back to my files. And these are the documents that we have under you, Jaime. Now, one of the things we have to do, we have to show also, too, that you basically, what was the cause and effect of it all. We have tons of emails with the word, our company's name on it, scammer, calling us curse words, all that stuff has to be submitted. So this right here is the case right here. All we have to do is resubmit all this. These are pornographies, pictures, text messages, actually under, but the difference between this is, real quick, to jump real quick to another topic. The difference is you have an LLC. This makes it extremely easy to track you now. Very easy. All your information, all your fake cell phone numbers match these text messages up here now. Because before they had to go in and do a trace. They don't have to do a trace now. Fake addresses, we have receipts with fake addresses on it matching the addresses that you showed. So sometimes when I sit there and I thought to myself, Lord, we're trying to prosecute this guy. Why is everything so hard for us to get this done? There's a reason for all things. And now I see the reason. It's a good thing. And we would have had the evidence to prosecute either way. But this seals the coffin even gives it even a perfect seal. Because now we have substantial evidence against you. Not only that, criminal charges, because that's one of the things they asked about in the document. Has there been any previous criminal charges against this individual? We can literally log all that in there. This shows that you're a person of high interest. So, with that being said, I'm going to start the process. I went in and deleted my account already, my login account. So basically within 24 hours, which gives us plenty of time, because we don't start right away on the 24-hour period, I'm going to contact them, the CCB, let them know that I'm actually opening up the case for Crystal Edge, which we have a 3-year statute of limitation. And this one started with the paperwork on that was on the 23rd, actually, sorry, 2023, which would be this year, which means we have more than enough time. From the initial date that you file, basically we filed in 2023, yeah, gives us enough time to basically hit you. All right, so let me see. And the Black Series is brand new. We do know that. That's a brand new copyright you touched. So over here, show you real quick. This right here shows online, where basically, even though you deleted the image off your site, your information pops up right here at the bottom. Crow screen paint mixes right here. That name Crow is splattered on every file, every report for criminal charges. See right here, this is where you pop up. See the emblem we have here? This is the same emblem that's sitting on the thumbnail between you, Crow, Fernando Gonzalez, Danny Rogers, and Solid Wake 5, which will have his real name soon. Yeah, this is where you messed up. And right here in the corner, we also can submit right here where it says Crow1176, warning about our products being house paint, stuff like that. All right, let's go pull up some more documents we have here. We'll go back over here. So we'll be submitting these again. Well, actually, this is be a new submit. Right there, this is where you call in our company a scam again. This is right here under your company, right there. All your information is right there. See, Jamie, as I told you before, and then on top of that, you know what's going to make matters worse? The fact that how you joked about the CCB being a joke. I took pictures of everything and videos. I recorded everything. We're going to send that to them and say, oh, not only that, when I talked to the attorney over there, he considers you guys to be nothing more than a joke. Oh, really? They don't like that at all, period. So now they're going to press even harder on you. Now you're going to have 2 of these forms coming up to your front door. There's a reason for all things. You thought that the reason why was there wasn't enough evidence. Again, you're not a smart person. In order for a process server to show up at your front door, this is a court order. That means there has to be enough evidence to prosecute for that guy to pop up at your door. If there's not enough evidence, this right here wouldn't even exist at all, period. That came from a court. That was handed down to a court. To this fellow, information for him to go to your address and serve you. If there wasn't enough evidence, that guy would have never been seen at your door. The reason why you got out on that one is because of the timeline, the timing. By the time we realized who was the process server to do this, and we sent the information, we had less than a day to get it done. And they had to follow all that information. And by the time they got to your address, it was somewhere around almost near like 12 midnight. So by the time they got back to us, it was no way in the world would be to submit those documents in time for it to go to court. That's the only thing that saved your neck. So I let it go. I said, you know what? I'll let it go. Because you were calming down, you weren't acting up, you were carrying on, you weren't carrying anymore. And then when I went in the channel and I told you, when I saw that, I said, okay, it's on. Now we're opening up the accounts. Now we're sending information through. Now, when we go to court, we go to criminal court, keep in mind, by the time this comes up for you to go to court, all this would have already started activating. And that's what we want. We're going to paint a beautiful picture of you when we go into that courtroom, because that judge is going to look through and see if there's anything else in there. She's going to tell you, Mr. Fernando, if I see anything else in here besides 4 charges you have against you, they're going to deny your bail. You're not going home. I told you, you are not going home. That prison I showed you at, that's where you're going to be sitting at. I also want to know that you're a flight risk, because you have a habit of disappearing. Every time trouble pops up, you disappear. You're a flight risk. You're not going to be in California no more. You're going to be down here in Pennsylvania with us. So, all these documents, keep in mind, 3 of your numbers that we found on that list match racial slurred emails that we received. So that means you sent them on those fake numbers. Fake addresses were popping up on items that we ordered from your site. We have another agency to contact today. They're launching an investigation on your website. You can delete your website all you want. Doesn't mean anything. It's your LLC they're hitting. Your LLC clearly shows that your company has been around longer than you said it was, which means there's information missing. On top of that, we also informed them that the name Frankenstein you do not have permission to use. Your company abused the company who owns the right to Frankenstein. You made money off their company and paid them no royalties. I literally have a video of you saying my Frankenstein, and pictures, and receipts. Yeah, it's not going to go well for you, man. It really isn't. And the whole laughing and carrying on afterwards, that's the dumbest thing you can do. That's, you know, evidence can be used against you. She was not a very intelligent person. All right, let's show you the other folders that we got on here. These are the ones we're going to be following today. I right now wrote an email to the person that was on the case, letting them know we are reopening the case, that I am accessing the files again. As I said before, the case was closed. It still can be reopened. A case can be reopened. So basically, that's closed. So I had to go back in, submit, delete that, the entry to get access to the case. You have to give a phone number. Our phone number's changed. So you delete that right there. They send you an email. They tell you within 24 hours that will be deleted. Then you go in and you set up a new access to get in, and you put your new number in, and then basically they send you verification, and you're in already. And I can go and look at my old forms, everything. I can just redo everything all over again. That's all. The same information is going to be in there. None of that's going to change. We just have to update with the previous stuff we have now. of you slandering them and telling them they're a joke at the end of the day. And yes, we could submit video logs and everything. So, but also too, most interesting, Jamie, is I can't wait before we stand before a judge for one of the criminal charges when one of the charges that you have against you is posting my address and inviting people to come down to see me. And we have you clearly on the recording making that statement. You know who contacted me early in the morning about this and started laughing? My lawyer. He definitely thinks you're slow. I'm going to put it this way. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. That's literally, that was funny, but I'm not going to say that. But anyway, yeah, he thinks you're slow. He can't wait to get you in court. He's like, you was like a punching bag. He can easily knock you out. He can't wait to get you in court. He want to prosecute you so badly because you're going to be fun. You're like a blessing for them, man. They're going to tear you apart in court. But he was laughing his head off. He said, that's beyond open and shut. Well, don't drop the soap. Not in that place you won't. You're going to be in there for a bit. Just to let you know, you're not going home. All right, let's go over in here. Man, I still can't believe we found that video. I mean, we had enough evidence to prosecute, but gee whiz, that's the nail in the coffin. And then we got all three of you talking together, and you were talking about your personal information right there. Are you stupid? You know, your thumbnail is my copyright, right? Slander with scam all over, right? That's what you guys are being charged for, conspiracy. And you guys are all in there talking. That's like someone wearing a wire, and you're listening to everything that they're talking about, things they're doing with business. And I'm like, this is a freaking gold mine. I can't believe we're actually getting this much information. Man. All right. Now, as for when I can't believe he came up and said that I never said anything about 4 colors. I'm sorry, people. My brain just shut off for a minute, came back on. We got the video. We can literally show the video to back up everything we say. Did you not display 4 colors on the screen? Where else would you be putting that into? Wouldn't it have to come in 4 containers? If I see red, blue, green, and yellow, do I think they're going to stick all that in one container? Then that means it had to be separate containers. Gee, Louise. And then on top of that, the reason why your company is under investigation is because your website is showing activities of fraud. One of the things, the range gain, that doesn't even exist. You're going to have to back that up in court. I bet you'll be placing an order through them. You cancel the orders and put the money back in their account. I guarantee you. Can't back up anything on your site. Nothing on your site. Your site shut down and went back up. Before you talked about that surgery, your site went down a couple of times. We have it all on record on how many times your site went down and came back up. As a matter of fact, was there surgery involved when we got the 404 error code? We went to go place an order through your site and you pulled your entire marketplace. Was that involved? No, it wasn't. Your timelines don't match up. Guys are too easy. So anyway, if we're doing copyrights, let me explain something to you. Is it easy to do? No, actually, it's not easy to do. Can you do it? Yeah, you can do it. Once you learn it, you never forget it. You never forget it. You can have everything filled out, and they will contact you and say, hey, this is missing, that's missing. You could submit too much information. We need you to remove this, remove this, remove that, remove this. You know, we only need this, this, and this. If you happen to change your number somewhere in the process, keep in mind you can't get back access into the account with an email or social security number. It has to be your last 4 digits of your phone number. In order to do that, you're going to have to go in and you're going to have to delete the login. You delete the login. It takes 24 hours for the login to complete because of the timeline we were in. We literally had to keep emailing them back and forth and saying, hey, look, we need to get access to this account because our time is running out here. We need to get access faster than 24 hours. So they had a person come in of interest, and she went and she overrided the 24 hours, allowed us to get access even faster to finish everything out, because everything came down to a race. That's what it came down to. So when everything was finalized, got the paperwork, a couple of days got wasted because we're sitting there looking at this whole process server thing, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm thinking that they're doing the process server, because usually that's how it's done. We file a criminal charge against somebody. They bring somebody out to get the warrant to arrest the person. So it's the same thing. No, it's completely different when it comes to the CCB. You are responsible for the third party. So we had to find somebody in California that could basically, was close enough to him to process the information, send the information from the courts over to him, the forms and everything. He filled everything out. there was something called a service package that was missing. We had to go back in, email them, email us back, figure out exactly where the service package was at, find the service package, upload it, put it in a PDF, whatever they call it, send it over to them. They had to upload it, attach it to the files, process the paperwork, get the address, and then go out to the location. Yeah, all that had to happen in a certain amount of time. And by the time they located him, you can see by the time of day it was nighttime. They started in the day, and they had problems with the gate, getting access through the gate. Then there was an incident where basically they couldn't figure out which apartment it was. So by the time they got to his door, it was nighttime. So by the time they submitted the information over, it was too late to basically send that to the courts. That's how close you came to a lawsuit. It wasn't because there wasn't enough evidence. If there wasn't enough evidence, a process server wouldn't have been at your door. That's why I know you don't know anything about the courts or anything at all, how things work. You live in this make-believe fairy world, Jamie. That's how that works. So this time around, we're going to reopen the case because I tried to let it go, but after I saw that video, you carrying on. I said, you know what? We got to push through on that. We got to back it up. So now we're coming to back it up. So this time around, we know how it's done, what we got to put in, how much information is needed, all those sensitive case things they want to do. We know all this stuff now because I did it already. We already have a process server on file to go in and take care of the business. They know exactly where you live at. They've been to your address. So guess what? We're going to go in and get this done. By the end of the month, you will have 2 of these pop up at your front door now. You want to run your mouth, including the documentation of you talking about the CCB and all of the nonsense about you can do whatever you want to do. We'll send that over to the lawyer that was working on her case. We'll send that to her email so she can have a look at that. See what kind of person you're dealing with. So Jamie, those are $30,000 a piece. You know that, right? No jail time, but 30 grand a piece. That's $60,000 you owe me on top of the additional money you already owe me from the door at $12,000 a pop every time we drag you into court. So we're talking about close to about $100,000 at most. Now, again, if you don't have my money, you know where I'm going. I'm going up to that top floor. I'm going to execute judgment. Sheriffs will get a hold of it. They'll get a hold of a debt collector, and the debt collector will start taking your stuff. You don't have it in your banking account, they'll take it out, you freeze your accounts, everything will be, but then again, you'll be in jail, so that's not gonna really, yeah, it's gonna pretty much affect your family at the end of the day. Not you. Well, it is gonna affect you because you can't get money on your books to buy anything while you're in there because you owe, fines and stuff that have to be paid. Mind you, the fines for what you have with the FBI is a $10,000 fine for each offense. You got 4 of those, I'm sorry, 5, because we have to go back in for that nonsense we just saw. So we can submit that to the judge with a incident report number attached to it. That's why we're going back in again. We're going to send them the video. Well, actually, I'm going to talk to an officer, an officer on the case. We're going to let them look at the video. And that will coherent with the charges we already have. But these will be separate charges that we need on the side because we're going to file another set of charges against you. So you'll have 5 of these going into court. You know how bad it is, Jamie, when you sit in court and they start reading off your charges? Yeah, and you got to think, gee whiz, you got no lawyer in there with you to help you. It's just me and you. That's it. That's why we took the small claims. You got no attorney to help you. The big words that you can't say or how you want to explain it, I mean, they got a Spanish interpreter in there for you, but so that's not going to help you. It's just me and you and that judge. That's why I did it that way. All right, so let's get this. I got to print all these out. Send these over to this file, print all this out. We need all this for court. I got to go back down to City Hall again, and we're going to be taking the video down. This is more substantial evidence. I could add this to what we already have here, but we want separate charges on this. I want a separate charge for this, and then I want this also added for evidence for this at the same time. Let's see right here. Let's go to, and one of the things they are going to ask, and then court's going to say, don't say that, Jamie. Don't say that my LLC is linked to there, because it's not. It's not going to go well for you. Period. It's not going to go well for you. There's nothing there at all, period. So don't say that. That'll get you in trouble. Don't say that I'm using special devices on my phone to make, don't do that. That'll get you in trouble. It's called hearsay. You have to have actual proof. like right now. And the funny thing about, gentlemen, when y'all did that video, guess what was sitting across your thumbnail? Yeah, copyrighted material, which actually also shows up on his website. Don't bother deleting the videos. We copied everything. This is one of them right there. This is went directly to the site. And as I said before, even when you delete this picture, it still floats around on Google Images. You can't get rid of it. It's there forever. Let me show you something. So this is the image. He deleted this off his account, right? Thinking he would get rid of it. There it is right there. Shows up on Google Images with your information attached to it. Yeah. Keep telling us the digital age. I know where people with the ID, you delete something, it's gone for good. No, it isn't floating around somewhere. That's where it is. All your pictures and videos and all that stuff is floating around somewhere. I never take pictures like that. I don't know who takes pictures like that. Your crap is floating around. It's nothing really ever deleted. It's not deleted. So you think about that. It's not deleted. It went somewhere. Unless you got it on a hard drive and you didn't send it off into the internet, then it's on the hard drive only. You take a magnet, run it over top of that, or crush it, or whatever you do, dip it in battery acid, whatever, it's gone because it's on that hard drive only. But the minute you release it into the internet, guess what? It's in there forever. It's floating around somewhere. Nothing's ever deleted in there. Never, ever deleted. That's why they have, when you have government files, they're somewhere on some server somewhere protected. You can't really actually get rid of something once it goes up there. Let's get right here real quick. I wanted to go back to this and bring this up. So basically we have to show that is our logo. So we go in and basically show, boom, that's my swoosh. That whole that's part of my logo right there. You went in and you smeared it and put all these scam stuff all over. That's what you did. So we have to back that up to show that that's ours. And again, we have the copyright and numbers and all that for that. Now, like I said, if you're doing a copyright claim, just have to make sure that everything that you put in there is legit. If not, it's considered to be called perjury. Jamie, you know what that is, right? Perjury, perjury. I know what I'm talking about. That's what it's called. So basically, you already did that already with your LLC. I said 25 years in jail. So I contacted the people, State Attorney General's office. They gave us a number that we can call to investigation unit. And they said, if it is so, we need to, we contact them and they're going to give us an email where we can submit documents. So basically we can show under the receipts that we have, videos, video demonstrations that you have done on your YouTube channel, that product basically has been around longer than that. And then they start an investigation on you, and this is where they start digging through stuff. If it's bad enough, they're going to bump into the post office. Keep in mind, as they're digging around, they're going to find out there's actually post office fraud charges popping up. That is not going to look good for these two parties to actually collide together. And what the frick are you in here for? We're in for post office fraud charges. Really? Ah, interesting. Yeah, that's not going to go well. So just because you have these charges coming out, you could end up getting more jail time because of this. This is huge. Yeah, it's really big. Like I said, but this is the dirt Jamie does. And you got a nerve to get on there and say that you are a good person at the end of the day and you don't do any wrong. Are you kidding me? Jamie, the difference between me and you guys want to say at the end of the day that I'm coming at you guys. This is evidence that we got off of you guys for doing dumb stuff. No, you went on freaking YouTube and you matched the house paint, committed fraud, and sold it on your website. Did I put a gun to your head and tell you to do it? No, you did it yourself. Was I with you when you filled out your application for your LLC? No, that was you. You put all that information in there. You committed perjury. So bottom line is you did all that from the door. What about your information, state of information due date? Did I basically hold you down so you couldn't go in and file that paper? No, that was you. That was for you to do, to put in your tax information. You didn't put any of that in there because you lied on your application. You have to go back and show exactly initially where you first started from. You can't do that because you lied. I didn't do all that. You guys did that nonsense. Did I basically put a gun to your head and say, hey, go steal images off Google and basically put up images that defraud your customers? Partey did the same thing. We caught him stealing images. As a matter of fact, he doesn't know the difference between a gymnasium and a church, apparently. You guys did this to yourself. Range gain? Are you kidding me? It's a laughing joke. There's no way in the world you can take the same screen paint it a different way, and it changes the game. That's virtually impossible. I didn't put a gun to your head to do that. You guys did that nonsense. Watercolor paints? Yeah, his paint majority was water, and sat there on camera and said the water system is used as a delivery system, so that way the product doesn't dehydrate and doesn't evaporate. That's why I bought a second cell phone. I bought a second cell phone because we were going to buy the product, get it down here, drain the water out of it, stick it in front of his cell phone, put it on there, let everybody watch it live, pull it out after a day later to see if the product basically dried out. What happened after that? He closed his website out, came down with a new product. Something completely different from the goopity goo. And now this product he has right there, the guy did a freaking review on it, his own friend, and it came up a complete different color. Now, if alone, it came up choppy, bumpy, had little imperfections all over the screen, and it was shining like crazy, which means it was a hot spot right from the door. You guys do this to yourself. I really don't have to do much. Just gather y'all information because y'all do literally so much dirt. It's easy. The guy, Phantom HD, oh yeah, credibility right there. That guy came on my channel apologizing. Why? Because he sat there and bragged about the Valve projector. Didn't do your research too much on this machine, did you? Because I did tons of research on it. As a matter of fact, I can show you where basically I had talked to forum sites with these people and got them to admit that the projector was 1080p base. Not even 4K as you claimed on your channel. Oh, it's a 4K projector. You freaking idiot. It's not a 4K projector. It's 1080p base. All pixel shift projectors use 1080p base. I literally got it out of the horse's mouth. Sent him over that document and then he got quiet. Now what? How much did you pay for that screen? $700 for a screen that literally matched a $70 eBay projection screen. Posted those images. That was funny on freaking eBay. Not eBay, on our Facebook channel. And then to turn around, your projector has a 3,000 to 1 contrast? Are you kidding me? For a machine like that? 3,000 to 1. My freaking NEC has 4,000 to 1. It ain't a lot, people, but mine's much better than that thing at the end of the day. And then you couldn't even tell one from the other. Yeah, that's coming from a person who knows everything there is about basically being professional and about projectors and all that stuff. You didn't even know the machine you had at the end of the day. Did you know that Epson filed a lawsuit against the company? I told you about that. They lied on their specifications. They clearly said they were a 5,000 lumen machine, and they weren't a 5,000 lumen machine. They were 1,800. You can look that up. It's right there. So how are you bragging about how I know nothing about projectors at the end of the day and try to damage my credibility when the very machine that you spent all this money on is a piece of junk? It's not 4K. It's not that when you say it has a whopping contrast. Whopping contrast, 4,000 is junk. That's not freaking whopping. 4,000 was big when you had the 2011 and 2012 projectors. Now projectors now have a minimum of 10 and 20, and those are the minimums right there. You got projectors with a 500,000, 2 million to 1 contrast, even higher than that. 4,000 is nothing. The fact that they took 4,000 and stuck on a machine is a laughing joke at the end of the day. And I've seen the demonstrations on Valve, but it's quite horrible. So again, there's no difference in the $700 screen or $1,000 screen than there is in a white projection screen or your gray wall. Clearly shows you at the end of the day that you don't know what you're talking about and you got completely ripped off. Ta-da! Okay, let's move on. Anyway, yeah. Don't tell me about that. Let's sit there and talk to Valve. As a matter of fact, I talked to Valve and I talked to the other company called GM Go. I got both of them to admit to me that their projectors were 1080p based. And GM Go, literally, I could have pressed on you guys so badly, but I let it go. I have messages from you guys telling me that you were going to do a contrast demonstration in April, which you never did. You failed to do that demonstration. What happened? But I did get you guys to admit that your projector was a 1080p base. But on the Kickstarter, you didn't mention anything about that. And the Kickstarter, you never mentioned anything about 1080p base. You said it was 4K. Yeah. And you're sitting there ranting about how, oh, this projector's amazing. You don't know what you're talking about. Here, read this, Chippy. Give me your opinion on that. You guys are idiots. You're all three of you guys, 4 of you, 5 are all idiots. Mr. Matthew, yeah, I'm going to be contacting you real soon. Matter of fact, I got a certified letter coming to you, too. I got your address. I got a certified letter coming right out to you. I'm bringing you to court, small claims court. I'm going to sue you for 12 grand. I was going to sue you for $1 million, but no, I'm going to drag you out of court for a little bit. So I'll be in contact with you real soon. We'll be reaching out to you shortly. I got your address information if you're still there, but I think you might be still there. And I'll send you out a little letter letting you know that I'm going to be bringing you to court for basically committing fraud against my company. God, don't learn nothing. So again, gentlemen, if I'm this big, huge scammer at the end of the day, how come I'm the only one taking you guys to court? How come I'm the only one pressing criminal charges? Because you have no evidence at all, period. Get any of you back your products up? No. I got tons of canceled receipts from you guys because you can't back your products. Wait. On Partey, you've canceled on just about everything. Samples, everything. Put the money right back in my account. Jaime, I gave you the option to send me down black paint. Buy from Home Depot, send it to me so we can do some tests off of it. 5 requests, nothing at all. But yet I'm this big scammer at the end of the day. How about this? How about I send you up some gray paint with a signature confirm? I bet you deny it and send it back to me. I bet you won't do the demonstration live. As a matter of fact, I'll take care of that today. I'm going to make sure we get a nice little care package, all the different gray paints. I'm going to put your name on it. I'm going to send it to your address. And no, I do not need your permission because you have registered your address as a company. It says mailing address for your company. Over here it says residential, but you can't do that unless you have my permission. And I did give you my permission. Now your permission is gone because I gave you plenty of time to basically give me a tracking number. It's not hard to get a tracking number. Home Depot is not that far from you. So since it took you that long, I'm tired of it. I sent you over the certified letter, explained to you about court, and that's the end of it. I'll see you in court. That freaking video is a gold mine. A freaking gold mine. Now, keep in mind, after the criminal charges pass, I will be filing another lawsuit against you. Yeah, for posting my address. This won't be going to, so you know this, Jaime, this lawsuit won't be going to small claims court. My lawyer is pushing for me to take it to civil court because they want to give you jail time on top of the jail time. And included on top of that, they want to sue you for millions of dollars. Because of substantial evidence we have of you in a recording telling people to come to my address on your YouTube channel. That's what he contacted me about. He doesn't want to go into small claims court. He wants to go to civil court. That's where you're going now. Now you'll get a chance to meet my attorney. I doubt you'll be bringing one with you because you won't be able to afford one. Because keep in mind, if you lose, you're going to pay my attorney's costs, and he's not cheap. That's why he contacted me. He wants me to bring the civil court. He said, don't waste that. You have him literally in the video telling, literally in the police report, what you basically are filing charges for. Taking this civil court and suing for a couple $1 million. Now, mind you, to his wife, this is going to carry over to you. And I'm considering basically leaving the lawsuit where it lays. Which means your kids will have to suffer the burden. But you brought it on yourself, remember that. All right, so let's get through all this. Because he's not released, he's not going to request it from the judge. That's one of the things he said. We go to court, he does think he's not going to request it. He's going to request that the lawsuit stands, which means bottom line is your kids will be hit with it too. All of you will be hit with it. It'll travel down to the next of kin. It'll just keep going. He wants you to feel the consequences of your actions. And I'm not going to basically interfere with what he's saying at the end of the day. I'm going to let it go through. This is my copyrights. We will be submitting to the CCB on the new set of copyright infringements that you filed against my company. You see my filing date? My filing date is 2022. My statute of limitations are 3 years. I got plenty of time to hit you. I'm going to be hitting you next week. That's 30 grand. And this time, Jaime, this time we're going to make sure we got plenty of time to get everything done. Since I already know how it's done, I've done this already, it's a cakewalk. I'm going to knock out both of these at the same time, get them filed, contact my buddy over here, the processor, because I said I'll be reaching out to him again, send them down. He said $95, send him down the money what he needs, and he'll be at your front door in no time at all. You don't show up for court, you forfeit. That's $60,000. I'll go to the execution of judgment, I'll get a debtor, and we'll go take your stuff. Now, keep in mind, the post office fraud charge is a different story, man. That's a $1 million fine and 20 years in jail. You got 2 of these you're facing. You're going to have to be able to beat. All right. We got this already done. This is all taken care of right here. That finished it. Don't get it. We got to print. Well, I got this already. These are your interesting, colorful text messages that are matching those numbers that you have on your white pages that we found out about you. Yeah, you popped up on a couple of these. Some of these have racial slurs and pornography attached to them. This is your YouTube channel. You posting one of our houses, showing you that we have a history of you doing this. He learns nothing, does he? Now we've got pictures of you and videos of you laughing at these facilities that are going to be prosecuting, making them as they're a joke. You know what the judge is going to say to you, Jamie? Do you take me for a joke? That's what she's going to say. This is what's going to happen, people. Fernando is going to be in court. When Fernando's in court, Fernando is barely going to lift his head up to see the judge. He's not going to look at me. He's not going to look at the judge. He's going to have his head down the entire time. He's going to be asked questions that he can't get around. Can't hide on YouTube. You can't go on vacation. You can't do any of that. She's going to ask you, even though the evidence is right there showing that you posted our address without our permission, and we have a recording of you doing this, she's going to ask you questions of why and this, that, and the other, and you're going to have to answer everything correctly and speak clearly into the mic. So, you have the copyrights, which by the time we hit court, they're going to be activated. Showing that we had to go back in and we had to file again. I'll explain to the judge we ran out of time and that's what happened. We went back in, we reactivated the accounts. We went back in and filed another additional set of copyrights. Also, too, here's a video of 3 individuals talking a conspiracy about my company. And as you can see, the thumbnail is our company's logo that's slandered with scammer written all over it. Yeah, we're going to put you guys in that, too. You're actually going to put you into that lawsuit. I mean, all that, the criminal charges, because we have to back up everything we say. Terroristic threats, racial slurs, it's all in there. She's going to tell you it's punishable to 1 year in jail and a $10,000 fine. But judging by what you have here, you have 4 cases. That's a year per case, including the new one we have coming up today. So you're not going home, so you know this. You're not posting bail because it doesn't show you're a first-time offender. You've done this multiple times, and by the action on your site, you just don't care, as it shows. So you're going to get some silver bracelets, and you're going to go to processing. And then after that, that court judge, that prison I showed you, that's where you're going to be at, right over there. And every time I walk past there, I'm going to say, hey, Jamie's right over there. Told you, stay out of trouble. What's the term for this? It's easy to get in trouble. It's hard to get out. So it's a history of you posting addresses, including the video that we also have of you on YouTube calling out my family's names and addresses I was previously at, which shows there's nothing wrong with that, me moving to different addresses at all. That shows that basically we filed for stalking charges against you. And you did say some family members' names, which have an interest in you now. You can take that any way you want. You're going to be down here now. You're going to be in the prison system. You're going to be, you're going to be down here, Jamie. You understand that? They want to talk to you, so you know that. You call them out. They want to know who you are and why and what. How do you know them? Oh, I forgot. We got these charges to file too. Gee, what we got to do? I guess I'll be down in tomorrow morning. That's why I got to get up, get the way to get packaged and stuff. We got a charge. You got a charge against you basically for calling the police. Mike Fernando. Interesting. That'd be interesting. All right, people, that's basically about it. But other than that, as for the copyrights and all that stuff, yeah, basically bottom line is, yeah, you have to keep the same phone number. If you delete the phone number, you're going to actually go in and delete your access to it, that your login. Once you delete your login, you have to go in and basically in 24 hours, they will send you access for a new login. When you go in and put the new phone number in, your email will stay the same. If the same thing happens to your email, it's the same freaking process that you have to go through. Pretty much, you have to answer everything they have in there, and you have to have documents backing up every single thing. You'll go through a certain set of evaluation stages where if they feel that there's enough information to prosecute, your case will go through. If it doesn't go through, then basically they'll tell you that they need more information. Apparently we had enough information, more than needed. And then once everything is finalized and everything's ready to go, they won't give you a court date yet. They will give you an information for a process server. This is the last stage. He has to be served. There's court notice. So they'll come out to him. They'll give him the process server. You have to mind it's a third party. So you'll contact the process server in their neck of the woods, not in yours. And you basically have to go get something called a service package. You go and you get the service package. That's for the process server. You fill out the information. One half is you, one half is them. Send it over to them. They attach that to the form as you saw a few minutes ago. And then they get the kick in. They go over to the house or apartment or whatever, and they serve them right there. Now, when they come to the door, two things will happen. They can't walk into the property, but they can basically post it to the door. They will reply back to you like, hey, I can't hand it to them in hand. People think that a process server has to give it to your hand for you to serve in court. No. If they catch you at your residency, they can post it to the side of the building showing that it was served. I mean, you got to grab it sooner or later. It's right there. So basically, that's what they did. They posted it to his door because his wife came to the door and Jaime hid in the apartment. He didn't come out. And that's the same thing. They were talking to me back and forth. They were like, look, we got a gate here. How do we get in? I said, just buzz in. Somebody will push you through. Somebody pushed him through. Mr. Bird, we're inside. As we walked, we showed you in the Google map. That's the same path they took. They took a picture of the bottom and the top. Which apartment is it? I said, he's on an LLC. I think it's apartment 8. As they look to the LLC, they find your apartment 8. They walk up the stairs. They knock on the door to get to him. When they knock on the door, Jaime's there. They said they heard him in the back. They heard a guy in the back, but his wife came to the door. Yeah, you hid behind your wife. That's what you did. When she came to the door, she barely opened up the door because she knew it. She saw the badge, the process server. He was trying to hand her the paper. She wouldn't take it. So what they did was they posted it to the door. That's what they did. And they left. Sent me a picture of it. So information. But by the time they did that, it was nighttime. It was too late. It was around like 11:59. It was too late for us to go in and put the information in. So I said, hey, we'll go again. We'd have to do it again. But at least I know how to do this. So because it was a complicated ordeal. You don't, if you have any, these documents are very interesting. So you have to know what you're doing and what you're reading when you're filling this out. If you get to a situation where you get stuck on something, you can't figure it out, you can't get up a phone and call somebody. It doesn't work that way. You have to email them on everything, and they get back to you on a certain amount of time. It's the same day, but it's a certain amount of time. Or they could decide to call you. So you have to make sure when they call you, you have to have access to those files. A couple of times I was on site and somebody had called me, and I'm like, I got to memorize and write down everything they just told me how to do, how to get into this particular file and how to get it done, because I'm not in front of my computer and I don't have it on my phone. So yeah, that's some of the hurdles we had to go through. But once you learn how to do it, yeah, you'll never forget that ever. Not ever. So now, going in, I don't have the same number anymore. I had to go and delete the sign-in. They send me the information confirmation to my email. I go hit that, click on that, put the phone. Well, actually, wait 24 hours before they delete that access for me to get in. Once I go through, they give me the confirmation. Then I go in and put all my information in, my phone number and all that, and it gives me access to my original files, which is kind of like a blueprint on how we did it the first time. So the second time, it's the same process. And that's it. And we just have to contact them and say, hey, look, we're reactivating this case, and I need to start a new case. That's how it's going to work. And that's it. So since we know what we know now, got plenty of time. I can give the process server 1 month to hunt you down. Instead of giving you like a couple of days here and there, I can give him a solid 1 month to hunt you down, which means these jokers are freaking relentless. This guy is going to pop up at your front door. He's going to be watching you across the street. You're talking about somebody watching you? These jokers will watch you from across the street. He will even follow you to your job, restaurants, anywhere you go, they're going to get you. And sometimes they'll change up, because sometimes if you've seen them a few times and you know what they look like, they'll get somebody else out there. As long as they get you served, that's all that matters. So he's going to be going through a bit of a paranoia stage. And I've already been in contact. I sent the videos of you talking about the CCB as being a joke, whatever. We sent that over to them. They're not happy, just so you know that. Nobody likes it when you're a law enforcement officer or whatever you're doing at the end of the day, and you take their profession as a joke, especially when it's involving law enforcement officers. All right, so that's pretty much what you have to go through when you do it at the end of the day. It's an interesting document at the end of the day, and you have to make sure that when you file these documents, that everything in these documents are legit. Because if not, you can get into a lot of trouble. Jaime, like I said, on sensitive government documents, you have to make sure it's legit. So Let's see what time we got. I gotta be up at early in the morning because I got stuff coming in. I got a very busy day. Get this out of the way. I still got updates to do on the other site. And I'm going to be contacting this special task force unit for the violation of your LLC and also to the violation of committing perjury on your documents, which I'll be contacting today. And when I'm done with that, I'll be popping over to City Hall to file new charges against you for that whole video nonsense we have. Because I want separate charges on that. For every separate charge, there's a lawsuit that will follow behind it. You want to play any more games? You want to go up there and post my addresses and say, hey, he moved so I moved to multiple addresses. I upgraded. Big deal. What does that have to do about my product? You, on the other hand, you don't live at 317 Kern Street, Jaime, or any of the other addresses we saw there listed. There are no videos of you ever living in any of these places at all. I posted YouTube videos saying, hey, we're moving, bigger house. We're moving to this place. We're moving to that place. Yeah. But we don't have any videos of you living at 317 Kern, so what the freak is that all about? All right, just want to put it out there. Okay, buddy. See you in court soon. Can't wait to see. I wish we can record. Oh, man, I wish we could record in court. I can see exactly. He's going to cry in court. I'm going to tell you right now. Usually, most of them start crying in court because it's a way for them to show, like, try to get some kind of sympathy. They start to cry. He's going to cry in court. Oh, by the way, I'm going to put a gag order on you, too. You go home and well, you're not going home. I forgot about that. You're not going home. Anyway, so for the lawsuit, you will be going home, but not for the criminal charges you want. We filed a lawsuit against him a couple of days ago for slander in our company, and we did advise him to go send us black paint to basically prove his theory, and he never sent us a black paint. So all that's documented for court. But yeah, if you go home and talk about the lawsuit, anything at all, you're going to be charged. So you know that. So we're going to put a gag order on you. You can't speak, can't talk, can't say anything about it. Period. Nothing. At all. You're going to sit there and suffer in quiet. That's what you're going to do. All right, people. Well, I got much to do. I got a lot of running around today. I'm going to go visit the giant horse. Yeah, I was talking to someone like, what are the odds you can't climb up on the horse? So many people have tried and got fined trying to climb up on the horse. Yeah. Even one guy even came in with a ladder. I was talking with the officers out there that actually patrols that area, and I was like, he's there, don't think about it. And I was staring at it, don't think about it. I said, think about what? Did you think about climbing up on that thing? I said, nah, I'm climbing, break my neck, slide off the thing, and hit my head and kill myself? No. Maybe when I was younger, not now. I was like, let me ask you a question. How many people have climbed up on that thing? He said, yeah, quite a few. I said, one guy even came out here with a freaking ladder. Yep. And it's kind of interesting that when you're next to government buildings, you do know there's cameras perched up really high, bird's eye cameras that are recording everything when you walk by and everything. Yeah, a ladder. He bought a freaking ladder. Would have been a nice selfie picture, but it's not worth the fine. It really isn't. The fine's too expensive. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to go to the museum today. No, I'll do it on Saturday. I want to go to the museum on Saturday. Yeah, I'll do it on Saturday. Because, yeah, there'll be no kids in there. Usually, if you're doing it on a Monday or Tuesday, you got a bunch of kids in there running around screaming. So I'm gonna do it on Saturday. And they got an art class on the other end. I'm taking up art classes. I mean, I've done art, but I'm taking up art classes for fun. I said they got art classes over. I'm gonna take up art classes. All right, people. That's basically about it. You want to basically file a copyright claim? Keep in mind, your stuff has to be copyrighted. So you know that. Oh, most important thing. Make sure that if you're filing a copyright claim against someone, that your copyright is legit. Because the first thing you're going to have to go through in the process of filing a copyright, you won't even get past the application without that number. So you need those serial numbers. You don't have those serial numbers, your claim will be denied. Poor man copyright does not work. People do the poor man copyright. This is where you go in and you basically mail a letter to yourself. And you think at the end of the day, because it's been post office stamped, no, don't do this. This is a joke at the end of the day. Never do that. They call that the poor man copyright. Come on, man, act right. There we go. So, you see those, oh, shoot, not there. I'll bring it in a little bit. All right, there we go. I'm bringing the camera up. See that little registration right there? See that seal and signature? This means you have a real 100% grade A copyright. You are registered with the United States government. That's what that stands for right there. This is what they're going to ask for. They're going to ask for that document right there. So you don't have this, you don't have a case at all, period. You will be denied right from the door. You have to show your stuff is copyrighted. Can't do the poor man copyright. When people basically they write something and they send it back to them. No, that doesn't work. You have to have that official active registration date right there, and your registration number and all that in order to do it. Oh man. All right, well, that's basically about it. I'm out of here. I got things to do today. I got places and agencies to go to. And that's it. Gotta go, and God bless.